Well, hello, it's Dave again, and it's the next day. Now, yesterday, I set up the camera. As I said yesterday, which I'm going to repeat all this, a lot of you on Facebook especially was interested and made comments about how I backed into this tree. Now, to be honest, it was that morning when it was like 17 below zero. We were in northern Missouri, and everything was fogged up. And I was backing down a driveway that my friend's house that I've been back down probably 1,000 times. And this tree jumped right out in the middle of the driveway. Not really. There's a tree right on the corner where you turn into the little cove to turn around. And I turned a little quick and put a limb right through the back door and also smashed the pillar on the door, which is not fixable. I mean, compared to what you can get a salvage yard door for. So getting the glass in another door at a U Pickett place up in Indianapolis, I got the door, I got all the plastic but one piece that they didn't have, and a few other odds and ends for some vehicles for $54. So I mean, you can't complain about that. And so, but if you look out and see all these Chevy vans that are running about, they've made basically the same van since like 95 or 96. And I would say 60% of them are white, just like ours, because most of them are utility vans. The only door they had at the salvage yard was red. And so now I'm making my red door white. Now, it just so happens that we had already had an appointment with a body shop up in Indianapolis to paint our van, which has close to 500,000 miles on it. It has 470-ish on it now. The paint, that white paint on those vans, I don't know, especially the early 2000s, it just like runs out of warranty, I guess, or runs out of time, or just decides to start flaking off. And so you're driving along and all of a sudden you see white flakes coming off your van, and it's like snowing on the cars behind you. And so over the last year or two, I've been sanding little spots and doing little spots on it. So it looks good from about 10 feet away, but you get up close, you can tell that it's been had some heavy work done on it. There's also a rust along the bottom. Now there's no rust underneath and no rust anywhere else, just on that back panel behind. I have, over the 2 or 3 years ago, I went and bought some metal and welded it in there and put it all together. But it really was kind of a quicker job than I wanted to do, and I didn't get it as nice as I wanted it. So, and it's come some rusted bought back out on it. So what I'm going to do this next 2-3 weeks is put the door on. I'm going to prime it white so it doesn't look too bad. Of course, it's got the window in it. I'm going to prime it white. I'm going to, and then start working on the bottom part of the van again and get that. And then I also have some nice running boards for it. This van, we were blessed with about 7 years ago. One of the greatest guys in the world, good friend, Art Bush, had this van, and he put like 320 or 30,000 miles on it himself. And then motor was giving him some problems, and he is not mechanical as far as doing major jobs, and so he got himself a nice another vehicle. I think it was a Sprinter van, so it's really nice. And he just called me up one day and said, "Hey Dave, I got this van. It runs, but it has an oil pressure problem. It's got all these miles on it. It leaks oil, it leaks everything. But you're welcome to it if you want it." And so went and picked it up. He keeps everything immaculate, so it looked brand new. So that was 7 years ago. Well, we actually, with that motor that was having problems, the motor, I mean, it literally had no oil pressure when you started it, and then as you revved it up, it would start bouncing. If you let it sit for 20-30 minutes, the oil finally started thickening up, or loosening up, I guess you would say. So it got up in the top, and I drove that thing just like that, just dumping oil in it for 50,000 miles before it finally spun a bearing. So then we parked it for 2 or 3 years, and just parked it. It was the future project. It was going to be a great van because the interior is just immaculate. It has one, two, three rows of captain's chairs. So it has 6 captain chairs and a big pull-out couch in the back, and the high top, and it's got the lights and the TV and everything. It's really nice. I'll insert right here some pictures of the inside of the van. And even though this thing's been used and used, it still has a very nice interior. Has the 6 captain's chairs, the bed in the back that if I took the equipment thing out would lay down to be a bed. It's just a bench seat. It has the nice lights in it and the top, and it has an old TV in it. One of these days we may put a flat screen in there. This is a very comfortable, well suited for my family. I have my wife and my 4 kids travel with us full time now, and so that's why we have kept this van. And I spent 3 years ago, I spent, it wasn't too bad, about $3,000 to put an engine and transmission in it. The van. But we, so I got a new engine. When we moved here to this new home, I had a little better shop, even though, as you can tell, I am not the most organized guy in the world. My tools are kind of on a pile here, and my supplies are piled there and there. I've got almost all the tools that a home shop should have, things to cut and things to do, but I don't have a lot of space, and so it's all piled up onto each other. And so when we got here, we bought an engine, and a new engine new rebuilt one with a 3-year unlimited mileage warranty on it, which is just up now. And and we ended up putting it had 320 on it. Now it has 470. So yeah, we put a few miles on that thing, and it had 383 when we put the motor in it. So it's not quite got 100,000. I think about 80,000 miles on this new engine. It's run perfect. Had a few problems with the injectors, but those came out of the other motor, so I had to put new injectors in it. But anyway, it's running fine. Put a transmission in at 400,000, so it's good to go that way. It just needs to have a little bit of the rust taken care of and that white paint redone. So I've got with the body shop up in Indianapolis, and they are going to sand it down and paint everything just white again. I'm going to have another guy come and pinstripe it, so it'll be nice. I've got some running boards to put back on it that were on it. He's going to paint those too. But right now it would not look good with a red door on a white van. It just kind of sticks out right out there. And so anyway, so I'm going to I have some footage of me working on this door from yesterday, but a newbie mistake as far as the camera goes. It was all done in slow-mo. So I mean, I'm not fast. I am probably the slowest worker you'll see. I'm big and slow, but that was really slow. I mean, it was real slow, and the audio didn't pick up because it was all in slow-mo. So I can actually speed that back up and put some of that video back in. I'll do a really fast time lapse on that. Put that video back in, and so you can kind of see what I've done so far. But basically what I'm doing is I got this door, I'm going to sand it, I'm going to prime it. I got it there. It had one little dent in it, which I've repaired right here. You'll see in the video if you watch it. I flipped it over and pounded the dent out from the other side until it was just barely in place. Because you don't want to put the body putty on very thick. And so you just want to get it there. And so I've put this in. It's still not perfect, but it's on the bottom of the van. And so if it was right up in your teeth, I would put a little more on here and get it just a little bit better, but it's not that bad. And so now I'm sanding the top real good. And then, of course, you don't want all the door jambs to be red, so, and they're not painting the door jambs, so I need to paint all the door jambs white in the back of the door where you're going to see it just a little bit, which is really not that big of a deal. You just got to rough up the paint a little bit. I mean, it's just a door jamb, so I'm not going to get too carried away with it. But you need to rough it up so the paint sticks. And so, and this has got clear coat on it, of course, and so that clear coat can get kind of flaky if you don't get it correct. So I'll start doing that. But anyway, put that on if any of you are interested. But right now I'm going to keep on sanding on this thing. I got to just rough up the clear coat and paint it white, or put a little primer on it and then paint it white. And this is Olympic white, and you can actually buy cans of Olympic white online. You can get them Amazon. You can buy the bigger cans, which I'm probably going to do, but you can get the color match ones that you get at all the auto parts stores. That's a real common color, but they're kind of pricey. I mean, you get a can about the half size of a normal can. I got one sitting over here. Get these out the auto parts store, and it has original manufacturer colors. This is for Ford Blue because I had a Ford Blue Planet one, but that's what you get them, and they're about 10 or 15 bucks a piece. Really pricey for the amount you get, but if you're just doing little spots, they work well, especially on a white van that's peeling off. You just sand the edges down so it doesn't look, and then you just kind of spritz it on there, and it covers up, and as long as you're not right up on it, that's what's kept that van looking at least passable over the last 2-3 years. So that'll work. I'm gonna put this back over here. I think online you can get the bigger cans for a better price. I haven't got any yet, but I'm gonna do for this door here. Okay, mostly yesterday, I'll put some of that video in. Like I say, it's all slow-mo, and I got to speed it back up, and there's no audio with it. And so I'll do the YouTube thing, and I'll speed it up and put some free music behind it. Some of that stuff they put on there that makes everybody feel good. now though, I'm gonna sand more on this here thing, and I'll speed it up when I'm not talking, so you don't have to sit here and watch me sand all day long. It's amazing though. I like YouTube as far as this stuff goes, because you get to see people fix some interesting things, and I'll watch the most mundane things and watch them all the way through. They just fascinate me, just watching a guy work on his motorcycle or make a little thing or sand a little thing. And so I thought, well, I'll put something on there. I don't know if anybody's interested. You may be the only one that's watching this. You never know. But if you are, thank you. We're just going to get this all sanded up. Like I say, I am not an accomplished body man. I am a amateur body man, which is kind of like an amateur electrician. You don't want those two words in the same sentence, amateur and electrician. Body man, you're not working with electricity, but if you're a body man and you see me doing some of these things and you think, that's not the way you do it, well, you're probably right. It's just the way I do it. And it gets me by. I do it, and I try to do it on a budget. I can't believe I bought the sandpaper 3 years ago when I was doing the bottom. Now I do a little body work here and there. Mostly I paint tractors and motors and different things like that. But a few years ago I did the bottom of the van and bought sandpaper and got everything I needed for that. I just paid $50 or so. This time I went out and restocked some of my sandpaper and got my primers, and it takes this special kind of sandpaper here. And $200 by the time I got everything I needed. I was in $200. Had to go to 3 different places around here because nobody either had 3M or they had this, or they had nobody had the Bondo, the body putty was really expensive everywhere except for O'Reilly's. They seem to have the best price on that. So anyway, I ended up spending up half of the afternoon trying to find all the parts I needed. So anyway, all right, well, I'm going to work on this for a little bit. Enjoy. Oh, what I was doing there was cleaning off my palette that I do the body putty on. I left a little on there last night and it got real hard. On the plastic ones, it'll pop right off. But on these nice steel ones, stainless steel here, you got to sand it on. So what I'm going to do now is mix up just a tad bit. I got it. You can't see it over there. Maybe I'll show you that. I'll show you. Thought I'd get down close for a couple of these spots here. You can see how that works there. As you sand across, because this thing is so long and flat, it keeps everything flat. And you can see, like here, I got a little high spot there, a little low spot there. But this here, like I say, it's down low. As long as it's close, it's fine with me. I'm not trying to go for perfection here. Of course, what you want to do is knock all the shine and everything off of everything. I'm going to get in a little closer in there, because anywhere it's shiny, the paint won't stick. I need to put a little more body putty, just a little bit right there, and then resand that there, and that'll take care of that. And of course, that's shiny there, and on the back side of the door and the door jamb, we'll scuff all that up and paint all that white. But for now, she's coming along, so that's there. Just to kind of show you around my my way too small shop for all the junk I've got. I've got this motorcycle, which I don't ride much because it's old and it's broke all the time. But it's a BMW, fits me real well, and I enjoy riding it when I get a chance. As you can tell, there's a part for the BMW I had to replace, or actually the guy before me replaced it. He just gave me the old one. And then we've got different things that you need when you travel on the road all the time like we do. You always got to have generators. That's the original generator out of the motorhome. It actually runs but doesn't put out any power. I've tried several things, even bought a $300 part for it. It still runs and doesn't put out power. And so I went and bought a Harbor Freight one, and it's been in there for a year and a half. And those Harbor Freight generators are, if you can get a good one, I had to go through a couple of them before I got a good one, but if you get a good one and keep it maintenance, they'll go a long time. But going through, for so they just take it, if it, when you first get it that first year, you just take it back in if something goes wrong, and after a while you'll get a good one. Let's see, we've got old generators from other old vehicles. I've got that 8.1 core there, which I'm going to have rebuilt. I don't rebuild inside of motors. I'll do all the exterior stuff, but you miss one torque in there on that important stuff, or put something together just a little wrong, and you're stuck on the side of the road. And since I don't do it every day, I just when it comes to that real important stuff, I let somebody else do that. Now there's kind of a toy I got back there. Most 99% of you won't be a bit interested in an old Detroit, but as I've traveled throughout the years in gospel music, we had mini buses with Detroits in them, and I just love the sound of them old Detroits. And a friend of mine was junking a truck. It had this 6053 in it, and he said, well, if you can get it out, you can have it. So I got it out, and all the accessories, the radiator, everything goes with it. I'm going to get it running. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, because it's too big to put in the pickup that I thought I might stick it in. If the pickup is four-wheel drive, it would go in it, but it won't. Not my Chevy. I've got an old Dodge in the back. Then, of course, there's some saws and power washers, and there's a couple more generators back there. It's my stepdad's generator. It actually works really well. He just lives in town and don't ever need it, so I keep it out here. And of course, the shop is just an absolute mess. But I can find the stuff I need most of the time. So here we go. And my air compressor's over there behind that thing, and I need to clean all that up. I'm going to open that up, but it's a little cold today, so I'll keep the wind outside. My mastery of the... get off of there, you dumb cat. Mode, photo, burst, time lapse, nope, video. Anybody know anything about these GoPros? I could go inside and delete the card, which I probably ought to just do. So I'm going to go ahead and pause you guys, and I will go up and take care of that real quick. Probably cut this out anyway. Well, here I am at the end of the day, and I'm editing the video that I just made today and yesterday, and realized again that I didn't give a good ending on it, or an outro. And so I thought I would tell you how much I appreciate you sticking with this video to watch it to the end, and to know that I appreciate you. And if you like what you've seen, hit the like button, the subscribe button, all the buttons that they have. Hopefully I have some more interesting things come along. Anyway, you have a blessed day.